Good afternoon, Dominica. Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome to the Talk on the Block. If it's on the block, we'll talk about. This afternoon, Dominica, I'm going to repeat a program or a voice, one expressing deep concern with the system in Dominica. And what has been described as partisan, if you will, political. And the question is, why? I'm talking about Dr. Dale Dangleben, who shared the story yesterday of the lack of cooperation, if you will, that after he made the sacrifice to bring in the stuff that the hospital needs, and asked for concessions, nobody paid attention. And we have seen the trend over the years, right? Who gets concession for trivial stuff? A lot of persons have received concessions for personal use vehicles. But the people who really deserves the concessions that the people need and the hospital needs are ignored. At least some. I've been told that some of the people who brought some health stuff have been given concessions. So is it a case of being selective? I want Dr. Dale, my brother and friend, to tell you that story, because a lot of people called me last night and said we did not discuss this enough. I want to hear it again. Dr. Dale Dangleben.
I shipped the container, I want to say the end of April, and there was communication. And I want to make it fundamentally clear that, I know the rules, what needs to be done, and it seems that, and I know what folks are going to say, but I just want to make sure I put this into context, that I reached out to the ministry and I said, I have a large amount of medical supply. And remember, this is not expired supply. This is, things that 4 or 5 years, 2029, 2030, good stuff, really good stuff, mostly for hospital. And the discussion was, okay, no problem, right? And the issue now of invoices came up. And remember, in between that time, the PS of Health has changed, right? While I was having these conversations. Now, the invoice, they told me had to be exact, which I was a little taken aback by. I'm sending a container down with a large amount of medical equipment. And when I talk about medical equipment, I'm talking about high-end medical equipment, not just Band-Aids and gauze and basic things. I'm talking about high-end things for operating room, things for the hospital, and I'm being told I need an exact list. I did have a list that left the Port of Baltimore to ship the container. And I said to the powers that be, this is what I have. Now I was told why I was told, why don't I understand the process? That was the exact word of how things happen in Dominica. And I said, I want to get this thing to Dominica. I want to get it on the ground. We could work something out, even if it means folks coming there and being physically there with me and literally taking what they need for the hospital. I put it that way. And then, I think the communication got cold and I tried to reach out to certain people. And then 2 days, I want to say the container was a month delayed. And that was another fiasco in of itself. And I had to come back after the opening. And then I had to go back down to Dominica, spend $1,500 to fly back to Dominica just for the container. And 2 days before, I am being told, why don't I understand the process? I need to furnish that exact list of exactly every single item I need to give to the hospital, right? And I said, at this point, I cannot do that because the container is packed. We could sit there together, we could figure it out together, but that was not good enough, right? And when it came time to pay on the port, thank God, I always say, thank God I am able to take care of these things. And I want to make it abundantly clear. I did none of this to profit myself. And I have said it to them repeatedly. When I send these things to Dominica, it's not for me to make money. It's not for me to profit. I don't want a penny leaving Dominica. And that's on the record, right? So the fact that no one could really sit with me, meet with me, and help me, because I came back for 7 days in a crunch period of time, spending so much time on the port, back and forth. And at the end of the day, I had to pay a significant amount of money. Right? And remember, I'm trying to help the people of Dominica with that, what's on the container, not just for my clinic or what I'm doing in Point Michelle for patient choice, but for the hospital. That was my commitment. To keep politics out of this. So let's help our people. Let's do this. Let's do that. And they could not give me a penny, in concession. So at the end of the day, I had to write the check. I paid the money to get the container off the port, at the tailgate, and all the fees I had to pay, the VAT and everything else, right? So again, what that does, it puts me in the hole in trying to help the people I'm trying to help, right? And they don't understand that. But again, I thank God I could afford to, go down there, pay for my container and get it out and not beg, because I think that is the issue. You know what I mean? And folks might say, well, why didn't you speak then? You see, everything has its moment. Everything has its moment. I refuse to be silent. I've never been silent. I cannot be bought, right? I am willing to work with people for the betterment of our people. And I've said this repeatedly. My mom is gone. My dad is gone. My brother's gone. People are gone. My friends are gone, many of them. And I keep coming back and I'm helping. I came to Dominica since last April 2024. I came back 6 or 7 times, 6 or 7 times. And I have spent a large amount of money, I will not say the amount, on air. In that economy, I have spent more money in that economy than some of them can even talk about, right? And I do it because of the goodness of the people, and I love my country, and I love the people, right? And patient choice is an example of that. And we're able to move forward for the love of people, Silence, I've always said that silence in the face of oppression is betrayal, man. It's not anything about neutrality. You cannot be neutral in situations like this. It's complicity. When you're silent and you're not talking on issues that is affecting the people, you're complicit, right? And as a matter of fact, it's immoral. I have used that quote many, many times. So your silence is immorality when you know better. And that is what is happening, right? And I am trying to give opportunity. And at the opening of patient choice, right? I brought my power rep. I brought members of the opposition. I brought the Minister of Health, and you heard the speech. And I talked about opportunity, and I said opportunity in my speech. I said opportunity is us as individuals reaching back and pulling others up so they can be better, and that's what this has to be about. So we can have that self-determination that Marcus Garvey talked about. I'm not there to make money. I came up to America and I made my money. That's why I can afford to go to Baltimore and ship a 40-foot container and come down to Dominica and clear it and do these things. And that's what people have to understand. But those who are trying to get in the way and make empty promises, making speeches, it's shallow, it's shameless, right? Upliftment, Matt. Upliftment should never be about exploitation. It should never be about exploitation. It has to be about the sacrifices that we make. We make so others can be better. And people are just taking and taking and taking and taking. And I can tell you, there's some people that really try to help me on that port, right? My uncle had to postpone his flight to stay back to take care of that container until I got there. These are the kind of things, man. Why are we doing this to each other? Why are we doing this to our people, right? I'm not using this for any political mileage. I've said that. I don't want to be involved. I don't want to run for no politics. I don't want to run up against people. But where there is injustice, we have to speak, right? We have to sacrifice for the greater good and the betterment of our people. And I will not sit quietly at what happened there. Because there's so much more that you know that I have done for them up there in that hospital quietly that I will not talk about right now. And they don't even have the courtesy to say, you know what, we'll give him some concessions. They did not do it, not even a penny. And everyone is saying, well, people with medical supplies get concessions, blah, blah, blah. I met some prominent people on the port that is involved in shipping and things like that. They said, all your stuff, all your medical equipment should get concessions, should be duty-free. I got nothing, not a penny. And I'm trying to help Dominica, man. I can tell you what we can do in health goes beyond what I have seen in Dominica, way, way beyond 100 times what I have seen in Dominica. If these folks would just open up their eyes and do it out of the humanity that's within them.
Let me ask you, Dr. Dale. I mean, of course, you've seen the contents, your doctor, and other doctors have seen it. Are there a lot of medical supplies within that container that could have been given, as you said, freely to the hospital?
Yes, and because I cut it and they did not show up and they did not come to help, it is sitting. A lot of this stuff is sitting in my company in Point Michelle, right? And I can tell you, it's on island, and that is what I've tried to explain to people. You know, I talk about Pan-Africanism, I talk about Frantz Fanon, I talk about Marcus Garvey, I talk about economic empowerment and self-determination. Why are we saying to us that we have to wait on Barbados? Why are we saying that we have to wait on Trinidad? Why don't we sit and say, you know what, let's have things in Dominica so that when we need something, it's available. That's what I'm trying to do, right? But when people are trying to move pieces around so they remain in power, then that becomes problematic. It becomes problematic, and then the people's interest is not at mine. It's power and staying in power. That's all that's important, right? So it comes back to what do you do for the people that need their help? I can tell you, Matt, since it's been a month, and I've gotten about 100 texts My phone is ringing. Even if I'm back in the States doing my work, I am still taking the time to answer. I'm a trauma surgeon, a general surgeon, but I am on there answering people about hives and people send me pictures of their rashes and the diabetes complications and all these things. And I take the time and I explain it to them and I say, but it's what it should be, right? We took an oath, do no harm. And I think it's time that doctors, we start having a voice and we come together and we speak. I'm not here to point fingers at one particular person. This is about helping the Dominican people. I have an opportunity. I told them I have access. Right? And that's what I have, and that's what I want to bring to Dominica. I brought it to Dominica. It's on Dominica. You need your gauze. You need the small clinics. I will say this to the private clinics. I want the private clinics to understand this. We need to support each other to let this work. I have the things on island. I have the patient monitors. I have the ventilators. I have brought all these things down. Right? So if you need something, it's there. So somebody, it might save a life. One life saved is important. Let's stop playing politics with people's lives in Dominica. Let us stop playing politics with people's mind. People are dying. I talk about high blood pressure. I talk about stroke. The day I put a video out about stroke because the family of this young man reached out to me who passed. The next day, a young man from Point Michel had a stroke. And we're not dealing with the issues that are affecting us. We have the garbage issue. We have the dog issue. We have the leptospirosis issue. What are we talking about? One of your colleagues made a very important point yesterday. We're talking about the gun violence, which has to be dealt with. But more people are dying from these other things that we're not talking about. We need to improve health. And I was more than willing to work with them. And I still am. Because I'm doing it for the people. I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it for the people of Dominica. It's time we open our eyes and stop seeing colors and see our humanity, see our community, see the village mentality that we used to have, the love that we had for each other. Right? I cannot be bored. I told them that. I'm not into their politics. And I'm not doing it for political mileage. Right? Let's do this to help people. I have the stuff available, right? If patient choice fails, it fails. But the Dominican people have to understand, I tried, I continue to try. I continue to give. And some folks from the hospital came by and visited. I will put that out. And I gave them care packages. I said, these are the things that we have, things that they've never seen. I brought to Dominica. And you think you're not giving me concessions or you burying your head in the sand is going to stop me? My philosophy is that of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. My philosophy is self-determination. I came to this country. I came to America, but I always had Dominica at heart. And I was able to become wealthy enough that I can now look back on my country and my village and give back. People ask me, why did I put this in Point Michel? Because that's where that's where I was born, and that's where I love, and that's why I do the things that I do. And these folks they have to understand. They have to understand my mental strength. This is not about weakness. This is not about people that's just going to fold. I don't need political favors, and it should not be about that. It should never ever be about that. That's what we've become. That's what we've become. I've been in America for 35 years, coming up on 35 years, right? So me opening a business and trying to work with the Minister of Health or trying to work with doctors, it's not about political mileage. It's about the people that are suffering in Dominica. People are suffering, People are dropping like flies in their 40s, from high blood pressure and strokes, right? And diabetes is rampant, and we're drinking, and we're morbidly obese. Why can't we just get along? Like one said by Rodney King.
All right, Dr. Dale, thank you. I know you have a lot more to share, but we have a little time. So we'll talk another time, okay, Dr. Dale? I feel your pain.
Peace.
Take peace to you. Peace. All right, Dr. Dale. This is so wrong, somebody says on Facebook. Dr. Dale, DLP government. It's not fair to you. That's how I'm going to interpret that statement. They may have overcharged you. Well, I can't say. I guess they deal with custom charges. But I can say though, based on what I know, that there are few people in the port who felt Dale was dealt a bad blow. Huh? As to why, I don't know why. But I think I have a few text messages. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Mr. Dangleben has been denied concessions in the interest of the people of Dominica, whilst persons posturing to be farmers are being given duty-free concessions to bring in their vehicles, which have absolutely nothing to do with farming. You can simply stand on the roadside and look at the number of vehicles which possess number plates with F. Find out who are the people driving these vehicles, and you will quickly come to realize that many of them do not even have a backyard garden, yet they are given concessions for farming. And that is a problem. And that is one of the problems in Dominica. Things are politicized. People are being given favors against the interests of Dominica, whilst those of us who deserve the concessions in the interest of Dominica for political reasons, sometimes we are denied. It's really bad. It's a shame.
Attorney at Law Joshua Francis, describing it as shameful, huh? Let's take a few calls there. Hello, talk to me.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Matt, you always have this thing saying everything doesn't have to be politics. So what is that? Where is what you calling that one?
That's that's partisan.
No, you're not saying everything doesn't have to be politics. So look at where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what side it's coming from. It's always about politics for these people. But let me say, when you started off, you said some people didn't hear that what interview yesterday, so you have to replay it today.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have to stop this thing about when we don't hear something, asking you to replay it, and when we hear, we don't do anything about what we hear. This situation that Dale went through is not the first time Dale Dangleben going through stuff like that. I remember after the hurricane, Dale come in here with a whole set of medical people and medical supplies, and he was treated badly. We know about it. We didn't do anything. Look, it's happening again. So we just sit down, we listen to stuff, we just hear stuff, but we do nothing about it. And that galls me because we cannot be a people that just agreeing to sit down there. The same things happening, we do nothing about it and expect it to just go away and sit down and say, oh, this people must resign, this people must this, this people must that. Matt, unless we don't come together in numbers and really boot out this nonsense called governance, which is malgovernance, it's not going to stop, Because you cannot have people, you're hearing about the hospital, what it doesn't have. You've seen what Dale Dangleben, when I heard Dale Dangleben got a license to operate here, right, everybody was happy. Yes, I felt happy that he got the license, but I know he was going to get some kind of struggle. It wasn't going to be a walk in the park because of how these people are wired. As long as they cannot get the praise for doing anything, they're not in the spotlight, they will not allow it to happen. And that is the state of the island that we're living in. That's what happens down here. If everything is partisan, everything has to be given the blessing from the demon for it to go through. And people don't understand that, and we cannot be giving that demon our blessing, and that is where the country is at. See the kind of people are dying about high blood pressure and all these non-communicable diseases. And then you have somebody that wants, you can imagine they'll crying to help Dominicans. And look at what's happening, and Dominicans will just sit down there and hear the story, but do nothing about it. That's the problem I have with our people. Sitting down there, listening to all these things. We have listened for years, 25, 26, 30 years. We're just listening to stuff. And we're not doing nothing about it. Angelo came, and Angelo discovered so many things. Lennox came, he let go so much stuff. You doing it, people calling on the air. And then you're asking for evidence. Sometimes there's evidence. People seeing what's going on, but doing nothing about it. We cannot be doing the same thing and expect a different result. My brother, people have to realize where we are at and to put a stop to that nonsense We must all get up our backsides and stand up for this mother nature Dominica, this island Dominica. If we say we love it so much, stand up and defend it. Have a good day.
Thank you, thank you. It's for the people of Dominica. On Facebook, I'm reading a text message. These people in government should be rejected in every cranny, in every corner of society, because they just a disgrace to the people of Dominica. I wish I had the clips, at the opening there of that facility in Point Michelle. I'll find it. I'll find it. Give me some time. Where we had two ministers of government. Two ministers of government. Opposition officials were also present. But two ministers of government pledged their full support. And hence, see what's happening today, huh? So it's just all talk. Let's go back to the telephone, yes? Yes, hi, nurse. How you doing?
Are we really in Dominica now? Must be something wrong with us. I'm sitting there, I'm listening to that, what you're talking about, the Dangleben. This thing's hurting in your chest, man. Why didn't I give up on the country? How people can be suffering like this? People that want to do good for their people. Everything in Dominica is a politics. A man was struggling on the bayfront there. He fell in his boat. And I went to help him. He got his hand damaged. He went up to casualty. They said they haven't got the mess. They sent him man to buy the mess to me. But be real now. Dr. Dangleben, I feel so sorry for you. But all I can tell you, pray, and I don't even know what to say now because sometimes if you will stay in prayer, giving up on things. God forgive me for saying that. But Matt, I really feeling disturbed and I'm really going to give up on that country. You're not ready yet. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you, nurse. Of course, let's listen to this voice note.
Hey, Matt, good afternoon. Matt, this country, Dominica is a beautiful country, but it's so poorly managed. You have someone who wants to give back so much and stop them from doing what they're supposed to do, Matt. It's a vexing situation. Again, how many times do people like Dale and others who want to give back have to be beaten down by this administration? And then you have people like Blackmore and Skerritt himself talking foolishness about, the country. These guys have been there for 25 years, Matt. 25 years. Again, 25 years. That is an adult. That is my son. A whole generation using the same policies that continue to fail. Yet they will not relent to give other people the opportunity to serve and to bring this country up. They don't understand that, people can't stay where they are and just turn their backs on Dominica. But you know what? We care about our people. We care about those on the ground. We care about the people who are there suffering and trying their best to make ends meet. And when there are people like Dale who just want to step forward and give back and make people's lives better, yet the government stops that person from contributing. When are we as Dominicans going to say enough is enough? When are we going to say that this kind of system cannot continue? It cannot. It continues to fail the people. Not Roosevelt, not the people associated with him, not those selling passports, not those multi-millionaires and billionaires in Dominica, but the average Dominican who continues to get hammered day in and day out and have to struggle. Come on. How much more does this man have to step forward to want to help his country and always have to be given just constantly? If this thing doesn't upset you, then you don't have a heart, you don't have a conscience. This is to help the people. The The hospital that has the worst healthcare. People continue to die. People are afraid to go to that hospital for fear of dying. They prefer to stay at home and die. Yet when people step forward to help the system to improve, that is the kind of treatment they get, Matt. And people sit down and accept that. They accept that. What is happening in Dominica today is as a result of the policies. I said it last week. It's the policies of Roosevelt and everyone associated with him. They don't have ideas. They've run out of ideas. They're running the country deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper in the ground, Matt. People at home are calling and they're saying how worse and how terrible of a system the country is right now. People are trying, but they cannot make ends meet. And when people step forward to try to bring that country up, all these guys who is just persecute, victimize, just stop people in their tracks. Just constantly like that, time and again. Listen to the way he spoke about Dr. Thompson Fontaine. Just listen. What kind of leader is this man? Roosevelt is no leader. Roosevelt is a con artist. That's what he is. A con artist who continues to steal Dominicans' money and keep in his pocket and will try his best to remain in power and want to be king and have Dominicans come and grovel at his feet and beg. And anybody who tries to relieve Dominicans from that kind of wickedness and entrapment of dependency, what does he do? He tries to stop them. He prevents them from flourishing. He prevents them from thriving, Matt. My goodness, when will Dominicans say enough is enough? It's Dominicans who stop Roosevelt, Dominicans are the one to stand up together. I heard you talking about fear this morning. Fear? Fear? There is a saying, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So what you going to sit down there and keep quiet? And have these people constantly pummel you? Pummel your family members? Pummel your friends? Pummel your loved ones? Come on, man. This is wrong. This is wrong on every level, man. And Dominicans need to rise up and stand up against that kind of wickedness that they call governance in Dominica, man. Well, I am really sorry to hear you're going through it. I know you've been trying. I know you've had your heart in Dominica for years and years and years and years and years. And they're just playing games. They continue to play games, but they're not hurting you. People, if you as a leader say you love your people, why would you do that? You do not love your people. You do not love your people. All you want your people for is to keep you in power. Every five years or how many years, give them handouts. Crime is on the rise. Look at our country, man. Look at our country. If this doesn't really get under your skin, then I don't know what will, man. Thank you, Matt. Have a good day.
This program are not necessarily those of Wise Q95 FM radio. Wise Q95 FM radio has not been able to independently verify the factual correctness or the allegations and statements made during the course of this program and cannot vouch for their accuracy. Therefore, Wise Q95 FM radio will not accept any responsibility or liability for the statements or allegations made in the course of this program.
All right, Dominic, coming back to the telephones. Yes, good morning. Good afternoon. Sorry.
Good day, Matt.
How you doing, my brother?
Matt, let me jog your memory. Do you recall the case of Judge Baptist, High Court Judge Baptist?
What case is that?
Is it Baptist? That was his name, the appeals court judge that returned home on retirement.
Yes, Mr. Baptist, yes,
And he ended up in court with the government. His 40-foot container, after months, almost close to a year, had to be returned to him, and the court ordered him to get all his personal effects under the incentives of a returning resident. My God, why do we do this? I had to tell my friend at the Fiscal Incentive Department of Customs the other day. I brought in a returning resident, a customer of mine, who came to have her vehicle sorted out. And I said, bro, are you going to shake hands with the lady and tell her the words of welcome home, ma'am? We welcome you home. What can we do for you? That the Controller of Customs must tell his staff to welcome home returning residents. Dr. Dale was entitled to receive a handshake from the Controller of Customs and his fiscal incentive staff and say, "Sir, Doc, how can we assist you?" Matt, I know so many different professionals, different professions, auto mechanics, plumbers, electricians, engineers. They all came home as returning residents, and the returning residents act kicked in for them. They were entitled to their whole complete home. And not only their home, Matt, their tools of trade. You cannot deny a returning resident his 5-year-old items, tools of trade. So here is Dr. Dale. I'm puzzled. He's come back home. You've given him a license that he's entitled to open a clinic. He's coming to contribute to the medical profession. And he's coming home with his tools of trade. Those are his tools of trade. And he's telling you that he's also going to donate most of it, some of it, to the hospital. So he should not have paid, Matt, more than 5.5% import tax. He was exempt from the import duty. He was exempt from the excise tax. He was exempt from the VAT automatically. If it was an automobile, he would have paid 35%. But those were his tools of trade, so I'm puzzled. You need to have an interview with the Controller of Customs. Why weren't those items not considered as his tools of trade? His hammer, his saw, his whatever it is, his stethoscope. Something went wrong. Something went amiss. Dr. Dale was entitled as a returning resident to get all those items and paid just 5.5%. I don't understand what went wrong. Please explain to the public, Controller of Customs. Have an interview. Tell us what is entitled. I know so many professionals who have come home and you've given them all their tools of trade. 5 years old, 10 years old, 20 years old. That's what they depend on for their livelihood. That's their trade. Why was Dr. Dale not entitled to those? They were not items for sale. He was not going to open a store. He opened a clinic to help with the medical field to the population. Something was not treated. Dr. Dale was not treated right. So the customs need to explain to us, tell us, why weren't he treated as a returning resident? That not only his fridge, his stove, his bed, his TV. A person can have 3 TVs in their home, one in their kitchen, one in their bathroom, one in their bedroom, and they're all entitled to it. Those are used TVs, 10 years old. You're coming home, for heaven's sake. Welcome the man home with open arms, shake his hands and tell him, thank you, sir, for coming home. Is that what we're telling our students who are out there getting master's degrees and PhDs, that they're scared to come back home, that they will not be welcomed home with open arms? So that's why it jogs my memory of Judge Baptist, that he had to have this heavy case and the court had to award him under the fiscal incentives of a returning resident. Take care, man.
Somebody says here, these people are just wicked. Once they feel you're not supporting them, they will not help you. Don't care. They will go to the extreme to let you suffer. They say they were going to help every child in every home, but that's a lie. Once they saw my child's name, they turn him down. That's what this wicked government does. Everything is politicized in Dominica. Either you're red or dead. I know they were going to do that to Dr. Dale. The Minister of Health comes with his hypocrite self. But I guess he's Lord. I told him what to do. This wicked people. A lot of feedback, huh? Read the denial of concessions for a man that's willing to help Dominica. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Love, life, light, healing, joy, gratitude, courage, and sacrifice. Mr. Pelty. Mr. Pelty.
I'm right here, sir.
Or you could play the disclaimer after, but I'm not going to say nothing to incriminating. Not to see man like Asta fans, man like that Lennox, that former priest, you see Skerrit, you see Blackmore, and the others that are sitting in high places. You have another priest they call Eustace. It seems like there is a clique of demons in Dominica who sits, and consolidating the diabolic attack on the peoples of Dominica. Supporters' children are being sacrificed, particularly all your boys, firstborn. You think it's for me and you, these criminals will have any mercy, Matt? Or do you even know what is going on in Dominica? Yes, I'm trying to wake all you up. But a lot of us are living dead. They're like zombies. Like sleepwalkers and all of that. Not I tell all you that is just another strategy. Because guess what? Trump cracked down on these criminals in the region. And all of a sudden, Matt Skerrit is like a jackass. Sorry, Matt. He behaved like one. Maybe he's one. He's very foolish. Skerrit has not learned from the dictators. He has studied and see what the end result was, Matt. How much of them, when they end up dead or in jail? But Skerrit thinks he's invincible. He can do anything, and Demetrius and Dimitri and all of them, they will not pay for it. Or he or his wife or his distant relatives will not pay for it. He will sow and I will reap. That's what Skerrit convinced his delusional mind, in Matt. He can, no matter what he do, he'll escape because he have billions in control, which he have not given an account for. So he think money can save him. My beloved brothers and sisters, labor rights, UWPI, APPI, Skerrit don't care about all you. Why should he accommodate Dr. Dangleben to save all you at the hospital? When we go there, that is the perfect opportunity. I'm not going to elaborate further. The perfect opportunity, particularly when we get ourselves in some emergency, and all of a sudden you wake up alive. Matt, that's how they say you need to wake up alive, Matt.
Yeah, what? What's the point of lessons?
I know that is almost my third home. I do not want to say too much. When you go there, if you go there sleeping, you wake up alive. So I'm just saying, Matt, Dominicans are really in some kind of la-la land, Alice in Wonderland. And they're praying for Skerrit that one day he'll come to his senses, his sanity or humanity and change. One lady say, one thing I tell you, words of power. I hear in the radio, you must not cry down the country. I say, those who are doing are weaker than me that is talking. Those who are doing, that are committing the crimes against the people, they are not doing as much damage as my tongue is doing. What kind of people are you? I am Matt. I don't go and call your how they call it, Matt, the greetings line, Mr. G and them. Try to back down on Pastor Rodney. Try to call twice on your. I'm looking to detoxify, Matt. Matt, I have to stop call 295. Ceremony in the absence of substance. You have criminals running amok, persecuting Dr. Dangleben, persecuting Thompson, Lennox, Edison, Jameson, all liquor people that stand up, Spags, telling Spags, you haven't got to talk these days. You cannot get involved in. And I'll just sit down there, divided. All kind of caution happening, man don't talk. But look, caution in a country. But Matt, let me conclude by saying, Dr. Dale, thank you. Matt, the system is broken. Skerrit does not want it fixed because it is
Something is wrong with your telephone. Let's say you just got cut off there. 449-3095. Again, hello, talk to me on the telephone. Are you there? So many messages coming.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Matt, I don't know what is going on, but I want to say thank you to Mr. Dr. Dale Dangleben because, man, this guy loved Dominica and he loved Dominicans, man. And Matt, it's for Dominicans to understand, do not feel sorry for Dale Dangleben because Dale Dangleben can take this thing and give it to elsewhere. They have to feel sorry for themselves that the good heart of Dale Dangleben and the offerings he bring in are prevented from being used on them to save their life. But Dale Dangleben has already established himself and he's just actually trickling down some of the goodness that he received wherever he goes, some of the blessings. So they have to understand, they have to be appreciative for the work that Dale Dangleben is doing, but feel sorry for themselves because there is a government blocking them from having the goodies to protect their life and save them. And Matt, also, there are a lot of people working in this government, in the public service, that think because they have the job to do wickedness on the Roosevelt carrot, that they will be excused or justified because they own the carrot and the covered. But I'm letting them understand, come have a way of hitting back. Because one day there will be investigations done, such as right now as we speak, if somebody in the hospital died because of a need of such things that Dale Dangleben is giving at the moment and the hospital doesn't have it, investigation will be done and it will be shown that that person could have been saved or death could have been prevented. But because of partisan politics and ignorance, people die. So people will be investigated and there will be consequences in the near future. So those ignorant people that think they can hide under Roosevelt's carrot skirt because of ignorance and stupidity, they will face consequences in the near future. And Matt, one thing again, I don't know what is going on, if that is the agreement with the Chinese or whoever, to allow Dominicans to die so you can have less Dominicans existing on Dominica, or if it's part of the Illuminati, that's for the sacrifice. Because when you have a man or woman in charge of a country that is part of some type of organization that involves sacrifices, even in the hospital, you have to worry about white people dying because they're in charge of the hospital, including if you have doctors part of that organization or whatever it is, sacrifices will be made. So you have to even be careful with those things also. But anyway, thank you for the time.
All right, thank you. I'm going to respond. I think I looking at the Facebook page there, and Mr. Albin says, Matt, as a reporter, you don't think you should have contact ministry to hear the side? I know this side, my brother. I know the side. They were to of course educate your ignorance. We had two ministers at the function, and both of them pledged their support. So I'm not asking you. If you want me to send you the clips, I will send it to you. Okay, Mr. Al Benoit, educate yourself a bit there. If I did not have the other side, I would not allow the discussion. But yes, Al, I have the other side. 4493 because they pledged their full support. Al, okay? Thank you very much. Hello, talk to me.
Good afternoon to
Good afternoon to you, yes. Good afternoon to you.
Except Prince Michel, Soufouye, Scott 7 Gallion. Bad afternoon to us. Matt, can I ask you a question? Matt, have you called our power for us to hear what you have to say?
But I know I heard actually. I was just trying to get the clip. The power rep was right there at the opening. I don't have to call her. I know what she said.
Well, Matt, I don't know. So as you know, I've taught how to ask questions. I'm only asking Matt.
Okay, yes.
Matt, are you not mad?
I'm disappointed.
Matt, I am angry. And I am expecting the people of Soufouye, Scotshead, Galion, and Prince Michel to rise up and say, no, enough is enough. Matt, are they calling you, Matt?
No, I haven't heard a call yet.
Lord have mercy. Thank you, Matt. Bye-bye.
4493095. Everybody's trying to get in, even trying to get my cell phone. I will facilitate that one there, that call. Hello, good afternoon to you. Black Pepper, how are you? Black Pepper, are you there? Hello? I don't know what's going on with Black Pepper. Are you there, Black Pepper? Trying to see if we can facilitate that call there. Black Pepper, we're having some problems. Are you there? Hello? You might have to call us back, okay? I cannot connect with you, okay? Call me back. All right, let's get to the telephone there, 449309596 and 97. Are you there? Yes.
Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to yourself.
Matt, you see what the role of the government, you see how they operating, the government come in and tell you come together. Every function they have, every ceremony they have, they're asking you come together. And you see the result. Matt, can I ask you a question, Matt?
Yeah. Yes.
Matt, Dr. Dangleben is from where?
Dr. Dangleben is from Subudila Point Michel.
Okay. Dennis Charles is from where?
Dennis Charles is from Paul Ray in Point Michel.
Okay. When Dr. Dangleben was opening his clinic and he invited both Dennis, the minister, and the other minister, they did give Dr. Dangleben the assurance.
They pledged the support. I'm actually trying to find the clips at this time. I think Mr. Dr. Darrow, the former health minister, was also there as well, and he gave his support. He didn't say it on air, but I'm sure if we talk to Dr. Dale, he will tell us that Dr. Darrow pledged support as well. You know,
right, Matt. So Matt, what you're trying to tell me now? If you run in a government, you have a head, you have the prime minister. But on the other hand, ministers supposed to have power too, Matt. Even if you are the head, but ministers supposed to have power too. So what you're trying to tell me, the Pal Rep Dennis and the other minister have no power to work with Dr. Dangleben. So it's scary they have to be destroying the situation. Where is their power? The people vote for them, Matt. She's supposed to represent Dr. Dangleben as a constituent. You understand what I'm saying? So they shouldn't have to turn back and throw Dr. Dangleben on the boss. Whereas what Dr. Dangleben is doing is on behalf of the people of Port Michel and Dominica, which is a very good project. So that makes me believe the ministers themselves, they haven't got any power. Because if you vie in your power to work with your constituents and the top is blocking it, means that you haven't got no say. So one man is carried. So they throw Dr. Dangleben under the boss, which is very sad, Matt. Thank you.
Repeat that question there. Oh, he's gone. 449309596. Hello. Trying to manipulate our calls coming in. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Matt.
Sir.
Let me just conclude. Matt, rum, rice, rubbish, and blood. Matt, that's what Skerrit giving us. Rum, rice, rubbish, and blood. I was about to say, Matt, I'm not too frightened about Skerrit, Matt. But Skerrit is going to finally be expired or maybe run away or wherever. But Matt, what happened to us? The Chinese going to meet us halfway dead from blood under Skerrit. And guess what? No big deal. Skerrit bruise all you're battered, all you're weak and disoriented and disarmed. Because it's the Chinese that are on the shooting range and now they have what they call it, Matt, a gun amnesty and all of that. So the Chinese going to become disarmed, disoriented, disproportionate and all the other disrespected and all of that and just going to throw up us. So you'll have Fanchu Mun Chen Chu Bie and Senchai Puchu just walking in the park. Not Dennis, you have to excuse Dennis, you have to excuse Dr. Darrow and all of them. Do not cry down these ministers. You see Blackmore, or you can talk about Blackmore, but even Blackmore is extremely and excessively subordinated to Skerrit. You have Anthony Hayden and Peter Wickams and these people, Hartley Henry and Mia Motley and other people that have much more influence overscared than his own little chickens he have around him, calling them kip, 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 but they can't tell him nothing. They have not to say. And I'm sorry to see what is happening in Dominica. And at the same time, Matt, the resistance is so damn disorganized and disoriented and detached from the real plight of the people. So, Matt, in conclusion, I can just say, Dominicans, wake up. The day you will try to wake up, it will be too late. Skerrit will long take his children and disappear from Dominica or stay in Dominica. The older dictators get, is the more brutal they become.
All right, the blessings. Thank you very much. On the telephone, good afternoon to you, Black Pepper. How you doing?
They're taking a rough life easy, man. How are you? How are you?
I'm taking a rough life easy like you.
Right. Matt, I listening to the conversation there. You know, I mean,
tell me.
It's nothing new, but I think, you know, me already, my brain always at a 45-degree when other fellas been at 90 and 180.
Mm-hmm.
I like angles, Matt. I like to watch things from different angles,
okay,
a different perspective on the whole thing.
Let me hear your
now,
perspective.
Matt, right. So, Matt, you have to understand the political climate first of all, and how things happen in Dominica to do with politics, how one gets into government, how one gets financing for their campaign, and all of that. Right, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Especially the opposition forces are strapped with resources or their resourcefulness to get campaign funding. Maybe that is the predicament they are in, why they are not able to have enough money to push their message forward. As a result, they are in opposition today. It could be that too. Because like they say, money run things. No matter what you want to do, no matter you could be the smartest man, if you don't have the money, that gives you the reaching to the people's mind, for the people to have an opportunity to make to put you to work, and you just would not get there.
Mm-hmm.
So, Matt, what the Dangleben going through is by a political design. It's not victimization, you know. It is not victimization. It's the wrong word. It's a political strategy where the government of the day is very careful as to how they make certain financial energies come in the economic space of Dominica for fear in some cases, and in some cases they know for a fact based on certain people how they talk, where their faith lies politically. So what they do is they try to frustrate the financial chain towards the United Workers' Party or anybody in opposition. This is a critical element in the strategy of Roosevelt Skerrit political science play in Dominica, and a lot of people don't understand that. So here's what. He's not going to allow Dale Dangleben to get any momentum of credit, right? Especially he and for that incentive to give him a position in society that can come up against his Skerrit. It is not going to look for it. Instead, based on the financial wellness of Mr. Dale Dangleben, one can suggest Mr. Skerrit might have his evidence or his data to that. He might say, I am going to frustrate his financial chain to the best of my ability systematically. So you want to come and operate, you have money, I'm going to take it from you at the customs. I'm going to deplete your finances significantly, systematically. When the time comes for campaigning, you will not be in a position financially to make a substantial contribution to what is coming up against me. You understand? And if I gave you the opportunity in that economical space, his kind gesture, Mr. Skerrit, understand, a kind gesture can also work against him. Man, put that in your pipe and smoke it. I've been studying Roosevelt Skerrit. It's not victimization. It's politics and political science in his interest by any means necessary. He has to fence how things come up against him. You understand? No, Matt, he did the same thing. The next most able person at reach is the opposition leader himself, based on his career and the kind of revenue or income he gets from his career. So all that business about he going to Africa and make 13 trips, $8,000 a trip, is by design to absorb the he was making over there, to make him, as the opposition leader himself, be in a financial position destitute to making significant contributions to the party itself, for that same party to have enough financial momentum to come back to work up against Kerrick Matt. It is not going to, everything is by design. He's not victimizing. He doesn't hate Dangleben, but based on affiliation and the grounds and power and influence, especially monetary donations and other things, he cannot afford to make Dale Dangleben take too much headway in society and be too comfortable. It doesn't matter in his books if people die. You cannot, remember they say you can't love people if you love yourself. That's what they say. No, if you have to watch the position the prime minister is in office right now, from a personal level, a lot is at stake personally. So it's not about country anymore. The days for being for country has been compromised. He mess up and there's no reverse. So right now, you can jump high, Dominicans can jump low. Skerrit is in the wicket and Skerrit is choking every ball that come. He's not outing, he's playing defense hard. He's not trying to score more runs. He is at his wicket and he's defending googly, full toss, yorker, spinner, everything that comes. He's taking his whole body, he protects his free stumps, and he's still taking the bat to deflect the ball slightly. He doesn't want to score any runs per se. You all have to watch the indicators, Matt. And Matt, you know this sad story, another angle of everything. Matt, you see the amount of accidents that are happening down there? But you notice when they allow Mr. Dangleben, the minister was at his place, his business place, when he was opening that little wellness center supply shop. The minister had guts to come on a platform with a man with so much resources and reach and endorse he putting the resources into a retail domain instead of building a network, helping design policies in the medical system itself. He don't go there. And the problem is a systematic one first. It is not a private problem to do with short of pharmacies or whatever. Though Mr. David Dangleben is bringing in more critical supplies needed. But at the end of that, it is still on a commercialized front of Dominica. It is not into the hospital system. So that's another problem. They did not tap into him with good faith for country's sake. They allowed him to do it because they know just how they're going to come back and take money from him. And more so now than ever, they need the money from taxes because of the fall of the CBI.
I'll tell you what. Mr. Tad thinking outside of the box. But again, we have to allow Tad, we have to allow others to make their contributions as well, huh? Well said, Black Pepper, somebody says. Well said. All right, hello. More telephone calls coming in here. Telephone calls coming in. Yes. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
The views expressed during this program are not necessarily those of Wise Q95 FM Radio. Wise Q95 FM Radio has not been able to independently verify the factual correctness or the allegations and statements made during the course of this program and cannot vouch for their accuracy. Therefore, Wise Q95 FM Radio will not accept any responsibility or liability for the statements or allegations made in the course of this program.
Dominicans, Dominicans, enjoy your property, protect your property, you homeowner and businessman, protect your property, enjoy your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till you flood again. Till your roof fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season and insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
During a hurricane, if there is a lull after the eye of the storm has passed, stay in a safe place, except to make emergency repairs. The wind may return suddenly with even greater strength. Since 90% of hurricane casualties occur from drowning, you must evacuate islands and beaches and other vulnerable locations as early as possible. And those seeking shelter should shut off water, gas, and electricity before leaving their home. A message from Q95 FM Radio.
Dominica, get ready for a weekend of GAM, creativity and culture. The GEMS Artisan Market is coming to the Fort Young Hotel from August 1st to the 3rd, and you're invited to experience the best of local art, craft, music, and community, all in one beautiful space. Handcrafted products, painting, locally crafted goods, spoken word, acoustic music, poetry, and more. Come support 32 of Dominica's most talented artisans and enjoy performances from amazing artists. Entry is free, so bring your family, friends, and celebrate Dominican excellence. Follow GEMS Foundation on Facebook for more updates and don't miss it. The market is open on Friday from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., Saturday from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., and Sunday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
If you know quality, then you must know the manufacturers of Dominica's finest rums. Belfast Estate Limited, over 80 years leading the industry with exceptional standards and formidable customer service. We present the manufacturers of BB Rum, Soca Rum, Red Cap Rum, Cask Rum, and the signature Belfast Estate Rum Punch. With island-wide distribution daily, Belfast Estate Limited has cemented its mark as the distributor of choice for products like Eldorado range of rums and creams, Kubali Bear, Corona Bear, Guinness, Root Boy drink, and of course, Sunblast juices, Topper snacks, Vitamalt, and Pine Hill juices. Call the office at 440-7032 or visit the distribution outlet at Jimmy Dominica. Follow on Facebook or Instagram at Belfast Estate. Belfast Estate Limited, your leading manufacturer and distributor of rums in Dominica.
All you, I just meet Goldwyn in Roseau again. Same place outside Flossie's. I tried to dock in, but he had time see me. Where? Story start again. Million, lot of my partner with us, huh? Sakapella. I said the same thing you doing, shopping at Flossie's. And you don't have to tell me the same thing you tell me last time because I'm busy. It's to hear him way. You reckon? About my pocket, boy. I won't tell you that I save money in food and drinks when I buy quantity. I save more. Oh, shucks, man. Well, when you're still telling me, I know already. To pack I expect him, why? But it can him up here for Palais. I will tell all my friends from London, US and Dominica to come to Flossie's. Right next to the Rosa Market. Open Sunday to Saturday. Flossie's can't do it to you.
Need one trusted place to stock up for your home, shop, or business? Fine Foods Inc. Distribution has got you covered. From dry goods and frozen foods to your favorite drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, plus all the household must have. We've got it all under one roof. We're right here in Jimmy Dominica, and yes, we deliver. Whether you're running a supermarket, a corner shop, a bar, or just like your pantry full and happy, Fine Foods Inc. brings you the best brands you know and love. Great prices, top tier service, trusted products. Call us at 255-6810 or 316-0164 or drop by our Jimmy location to check out what's in store. Fine Foods Inc.
Fine Foods Inc. The biggest distributor for the biggest brand.
Carifesta is the whole region looking good. Whole road is we runway. It's in the way we walk. It's the way we talk. It's the way we move. We ready for the world. And when we step out and pose just so, it's pure style and fashion. Look away. Come for Carifesta 15 in Barbados. Book your stay now at visitbarbados.org/Carifesta.
Super 6 just keeps on getting bigger and better. The jackpot is now over $800,000. It's real, and it could be yours. Purchase your tickets today and make those big dreams come true. Super 6. Bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
Those of you who may have missed it, I said yes, the ministers were there and pledged their support. I'm going to give Al Benoit another reminder. Some people's ignorance has to be educated, huh?
Opportunities, wonderful opportunities right here in Dominica, right here in Point Michel is a remarkable thing, and this is special for us. It also tells us a story that our own people must look for the opportunities that reside here also. I ask that we all support Dr. Dangleben and his wife in their endeavors. There's a place for you, Dr. Dangleben, and your wife. There is a place for you, and we welcome you all home. We welcome you in your endeavors. As government, we pledge absolutely to be collaborators and to support your business. It's important to have private sector collaborate and work closely with government in order for us to have a complete healthcare system. That's important. So while we provide public health and public care, there are some things that reside within the walls of private facilities that can be done better because it is private. The more specialized one-on-one access is important.
Okay, Mr. Al. I was there, I heard it. And then this chance, my power rep also pledged their support. So now, Al, you go back on Facebook and you apologize, okay?
Max, good afternoon.
Tell me, yes.
I'm not even blaming the PM, neither the ministers, for all of this debacle with Dr. Dangleben and not getting any concessions to help the hospital or Dominicans by and large. Might I blame the Dominican people? I remember some years ago, I can say it's not a few, it's quite a bit of years ago, either in the late 90s or early 2000s, when the government denied Dr. Fadi pay. the privilege of opening his medical center and all of that. Remember how Dominicans took to the street in support of Dr. Fadde? But I can remember that clearly. So these Dominicans who stood up and those who now keep silent, man, there is a vast difference in the people who now occupy this piece of land called Dominica. The attitudes, the mannerisms have changed. We brought in me, myself, and I. It doesn't affect me now, so I am not going to say anything because I may still have the opportunity to collect my crumbs off the table. Let me tell you, Matt, are Dominicans not understanding? These are things that could help them, their family, their loved ones. Remember when the Prime Minister said he and his family, his children have insurance, but so he can fly them off the island if they get sick. But what about them? And they clapped. These are some of the things you all know have to think about. Because when you go to the Mount Peter, all you know what does happen. None of you will stand up and say, let me take to the streets for a son of the soil who is trying to help me and my loved ones. You'll expect everybody else to fight your battles while you sit in your window curtain, behind your window curtain and look out and say, they're trying again, we? It haven't got people outside there, no? Maybe about 10, 15 people. We don't come out to the protest. Ay, Dominique. Le bab kama wadu pwede pe pon klo ou se sa ou. So pa jeme sav kouman bagay ki pase an dan di nou ke pou fe pas nou weste la bouche femi ka espere ni espwa mal papay ka espere aso kanawi belme ebe nou laka mofi. Ay, Dominique.
Super 6 just keeps on getting bigger and better. The jackpot is now over $800,000. It's real, and it could be yours. Purchase your tickets today and make those big dreams come true. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
I want to share more with you.
We wish you all the success in your endeavors. We will partner. We are there to support. Of course, we have specialized services. We recently passed various bills in our ministry. Most recently, pharmacy bill. There will be others where the medical supplies and pharmaceuticals and so on are regulated in Dominica. Of course, we have to ensure that we adhere strictly to pharmacovigilance and to ensure that various supplies that are brought to Dominica, we ensure we have that responsibility to make sure that the benefits outweigh the various risks. We have to ensure that we partner to be certain that everything that's brought to our shores is in fact safe for use. So we stand ready to work with you. Of course, you have in the past provided supplies by way of donations, and we hope we can continue to partner as much as possible. All I ask everyone is support the gentleman and his wife, and I wish you absolute success and God's grace in all of your endeavors.
I wasn't making it up, right? I was there. They say facts are stubborn things. tell you already, if you don't hear it on cue, it's not true, right? Somebody says, Matt, if this is not reason enough for Dominicans to rise and get rid of this good for nothing government, what will? These people do not care about the people. All they care about is themselves and staying in power. Power corrupts. They say an absolute power corrupts absolutely. It's hurting my people. All men are created equal and they endowed by the Creator with rights. Among them, a right to live, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And this to secure rights why government is instituted amongst them. Quote by Thomas Jefferson, one founding father of the United States. So, you heard it. I did not make it up. They promised, huh? Oh, so many phone calls, so little time. Another voice note.
Good afternoon and good afternoon
Good
to all
afternoon to you.
Dominicans.
Yes, good afternoon to you. Yes.
Matt, when I heard that the government, the one-man criminal government in Dominica had given Dale Dangleben his medical license, like, whoa, that sounds too good to be true. And when I heard the replay of the program yesterday, I said to myself, did they genuinely give Dale that license, which he so deserves as a medical professional who will be best for Dominica in light of his professionalism, his experience, and his qualification? Or was he an economic target? It seems more like the latter. I think they are strapped for money, and they knew all along what they were going to do. So they targeted this man by giving him the license. So I would want to say he was an economic target. And it is just sad that so many people are dying in the hospital. When you walk over Roseau and environments, Roseau is overrun with garbage. Roseau, even when you walk through places in Goodwill, in Steve Street, in those places there of Goodwill, when you look at the state of Roseau, it looks like an abandoned corpse, an abandoned place. Nothing was done to develop Roseau. Since in the 70s, Roseau was looking better than what it looks now. And then you have the place overrun with garbage and mentally ill persons on the street and dirty, stinking drains and what have you. When you go in a restaurant in Roseau, Matt, and you order food for you to eat, you cannot help think, what am I eating? What am I sucking down? Am I sucking down a dose of leptospirosis? Because when you look at that place, it's like you're eating in a garbage dump. When you look at Roseau from the purview of Fort Young Hotel, Fort Young Hotel, beautifully well sculpted hotel. It looks like a floating city on a hill. When you look across, you see the State House, the president's residence. But when you walk down a few steps below, you will know that those properties are sitting on a pile of shit, on a pile of stench, on a pile of garbage. And you're not hearing these people talking out and, adding their voices for the betterment of Dominica. It leaves you wondering, why are those voices so silent? Why? And Matt, coming back to the subject of Dale Dangleben and what he endured and the type, and I know it was exorbitant to clear that container, those wicked people. This man was just coming back to give back and to help Dominicans who are dying like flies. No medication. You hear of the horror stories. You hear of it, Matt. This man does not care. Roosevelt does not care about the livelihood and the well-being of Dominicans. He don't care if they die like flies in the China death friendship hospital, because it looks like that hospital is only friends with death alone. No matter how well you go in, you check out by your 2 feet. That the funeral homes is just the only thriving economy in Dominica right now. And you want to tell me that you will treat somebody like that just because he does not speak your language, just because he cannot be bought, as he said? Matt, when Skerrit used to come in the US here to have those meetings, Skerrit used to be personally offering people duty free. You want duty free because you think he can buy everybody. My husband was offered duty free by Roosevelt Skerrit, and I told my husband, see that you do not accept anything from this man. Do not accept anything from this man. This man is too wicked, a transactional leader who does not care a shit. Nor does he have any respect for the office, the noble office that he holds. This man has brought our office down to a state where it is so diminished, Matt, that any other person going in that office, it will have to really, really take a lot for you to understand their nobility and to see their worth, because Roosevelt's Skerrit has brought Dominica down to nothingness. This man has no sentimental value for nothing. This man has no respect, no regard for nothing. And it's not he alone, all of them, the group of people who he says he brought into the parliament. Look at them. Look at them. They see Dominica going down in flames. Our democracy is gone. We have no opposition leader. And these people sit there and say nothing.
All right, Maslin, thank you. She says this issue is vexing. Already 13 minutes to the hour of 3 o'clock. So many phone calls coming in, so little time. Talk to me. Hello, yes.
1 minute, man.
I thought you said it was the last call. Last call, blessings. Let's allow other people to call in this afternoon, okay? Thank you very much. 449-309-596. Hello, talk to me. Yes, please.
Hey, Marathon.
How are you doing, my brother?
Matt, you're saying Matt, that's a vexing issue. Of course, that's a vexing issue. But look at her now. She's in a better place, and it gets into her, going on her skin. She's mad about it, but the people here are not mad and not showing or not doing anything about it. It means that, and I come to that conclusion, that a lot of the people in this country are actually so narcissistically abused. If you know what narcissistic abuse is, people don't function well when they're abused narcissistically, you know. And all the government ministers plus the people are just following that whole nonsense. They're just so narcissistically abused and fed up. They worn out. They're not doing nothing about their situation. They know what it is, but they're just there. They're not doing anything about it. So that is a vexing issue. She's in a better place where healthcare is in place. Everything is okay. But yet still, she's so care about the country. Look at Dale. Dale crying. You hear in Dale heart. You hear in Dale crying. Dr. Dale has been crying from inside. Because look at what he's doing. Want to do for the country. And look at the hindrances that they're creating. So Matt, something is that cannot be.
What happened there, my brother Mervyn? Yes, but we lost you for a minute. And I just want to remind you, of course, Dale is my friend, my brother who grew up together in the community of Lapland. And I know he can afford that container. So that's not the point. You know, he's financially okay. It's up to the people of Dominica to stand up. When you see wrong, say it's wrong. If it's right, say it's right. I want to go back to the clips that I played earlier when the ministers, of course, they pledged their support, and that's no secret. That's no secret. Let's listen again.
We wish you all the success in your endeavors. We will partner. We are there to support. Of course, we have specialized services. We recently passed various bills in our ministry. Most recently, a pharmacy bill. There will be others where the medical supplies and pharmaceuticals and so on are regulated in Dominica. Of course, we have to ensure that we adhere strictly to pharmacovigilance and to ensure that various supplies that are brought to Dominica, we ensure we have that responsibility to make sure that the benefits outweigh the various risks. We have to ensure that we partner to be certain that everything that's brought to our shores is in fact safe.
All right.
For use. So we stand ready to work with you. Of course, you have in the past provided supplies by way of donations, and we hope we can continue to partner as much as possible. All I ask everyone is support the gentleman and his wife, and I wish you absolute success and God's grace in all of your endeavors.
Thank you. Thank you. You want more?
We wish you all the success in your endeavors. We will partner. We are there to support. Of course, we have specialized services. We recently passed various bills in our ministry. Most recently, a pharmacy bill. There will be others where the medical supplies and pharmaceuticals and so on are regulated in Dominica. Of course, we have to ensure that we adhere strictly to pharmacovigilance and to ensure that various supplies that are brought to Dominica, we ensure we have that responsibility to make sure that the benefits outweigh the various risks. We have to ensure that we partner to be certain that everything that's brought to our shores is in fact safe for use. So we stand ready to work with you. Of course, you have in the past provided supplies by way of donations, and we hope we can continue to partner as much as possible. All I ask everyone is support the gentleman and his wife, and I wish you absolute success and God's grace in all of your endeavors.
So, did they change your mind? On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes?
Yes, Matt. How are you doing?
How you doing, my brother? How you doing?
Yeah, Matt. I mean, we have to learn to respect everyone, but sometimes I find some of your callers, I find they really not easy, man. Matt, you have a man like Dr. Jill Dangleben doing a project in Point Michel.
Mm-hmm.
He invites ministers of government. So one do expect they will have a collaboration together. So we do expect that they will work with him. Why some callers have to call and ask you to play the clipping or find out the right minister say that? That don't make sense. It's not a kindergarten child you're dealing with to say you'll explain to them. I mean, an investor come to Dominica doing some work. Obviously, you expect them to work with government, and government supposed to do what they're supposed to do. So nobody expect you, like I think a caller from overseas call and ask you, find out where the minister had the clipping talking to support the Dongleben. You find that making sense, Matt? It's something that have to be normal. Come on, man. Of course.
They say facts are stubborn things, so I got the clip. And I played it for him. Because sometimes they want to hear it from the person themselves. So I requested, so I just played it for him. All right. Thank you on the telephone. It's 2:54 in the afternoon. Talk to me, yes.
Hi, good afternoon, Matt. How are you doing?
Good afternoon to you. I know you've been trying.
Matt, I just came in. Matt, let me ask you a question. What the Minister of Health haven't said anything yet?
You just heard the Minister of Health. I just played it for you.
No, but that's what he said previously, but for now.
I haven't heard that he said anything yet, no.
But the Minister of Health should stand up. Stop wearing skirt. You wearing skirt at your home. Try and wear pants in public, sir. And do what you have to stand up to scare it. And all the other doctors and nurses, I say, in the hospital should stand up. Let people hear their voices on that. A man can't be bringing things to all you. Trying his best to assist the hospital and people in the hospital for him to be having to pay for this thing. One else dog or cat, that is the Prime Minister friend and his family friend, coming in with all kind of magie to sell for people and they're getting it duty free. That is nonsense. We're going for too much nonsense under that man. Dominica going down in dim shit with that good for nothing we are running the country. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye to you too, Matt. From a medical professional, that's a message. Matt, it was so hurtful to hear Dr. Dangleben today. What is really going on in this country? All our good medical personnel are leaving, nurses, doctors, etc. And more Spanish doctors and nurses coming only to kill our people. These foreigners don't care about local people. They have no allegiance to our people. God deliver us. Deliver us. I won't say the other word. 4493095. Sometimes you have to edit, huh? Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Wait, Papa, at last, Matt.
I know you've been trying.
Why? I even forget most of the things I have to say.
Okay.
And part of what I have to say, Matt, read it out. But let me tell you something. Matt, people can say things and they don't mean it once they have their plan. Those people can have their plan and they come there and say their things and they don't mean it because they know what was to come. And that is why you see a lot of people staying at their home, and if they survive, they survive. If they die, they die. They are supposed to go up there in the presbytery, in the hospital. And scary doesn't care even though people die. The more they die, what he wants to put his death announcement, his name on it, they will put it. But you see, me, I am not going to this hospital to do a message and come back, yes. To go and see somebody, yes, but I'm not going there. That is me. But I've never seen that in my life. And Dr. Dale Dangleben, he loves his people. He loves his country. Because he could have stopped from the very first time of Maria. It was Maria.
Mm-hmm.
And look at what
Eric as well,
he's doing again. But they had their plans for him. They had their plans. Those wicked bitch. Thank you.
What's your language, Mr.
You know, Matt,
yes.
You played that thing yesterday, and I felt Dr. Dangleben pain, trying to help in the spirit of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, in a Pan-African way, trying to do for African people, doing for self. But we have a man running the place more interested in giving Chinese and everybody else a leeway over his people that looks like him. But he's a foreign mind and local body. That's what he is. Okay? But let me say something. Somebody just said, I think it was you just said Dr. Dale was dealt a bad blow. Man, what's most important is the people of the country, the people of Dominica was dealt a bad blow because what he was doing out of the goodness of his heart to help heal the nation, and the people who are destroying the whole system are the ones that dealt the people the blow, not him. Yeah, I think you got it wrong. I think you should rephrase that. All right?
Has got you covered. From dry goods and frozen foods to your favorite drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, plus all the household must-have. We've got it all under one roof. We're right here in Jimmy Dominica, and yet we deliver. Whether you're running a supermarket, a corner shop, a bar, or just like your pantry full and happy, Fine Foods Inc. brings you the best brands you know and love. Great prices, top-tier service, trusted products. At 255-6810 or 316-0164, or drop by our Jimmy location to check out what's in store. Fine Foods Inc.
Fine Foods Inc., the biggest distributor for the biggest brand.
After all is said and done, my interactions with Cassidy, the health minister, I think I can say this at this time. He may have been genuine, but something happened somewhere. Mr. Cassani, take a bow. I know you were very genuine when you made those statements based on my interactions. But something happened somewhere. That's all I can say at this time. So I'll say that on your behalf, Kasani. I think you were genuine based on my interactions with you. But something definitely went wrong there. Hello, talk to me, yes. Hello, talk to me, yes.
Matt, he
How are
may
you?
have been genuine, but the world boss dictates what happens. He cannot act independently of the world boss. There's no independence in that cabinet. It's scare it or nothing. So that the wicked scare it sends his thing down the line. If you don't do it, it's like Trump. He's going to attack you. He's going to get rid of you. We got our own Trump. I said it over and over. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. And somebody was saying, making the point. And let me see if I could get. Matt, can you play I played the clip over and over again this afternoon. I guess you guys were not listening. Let's listen to Kasani.
It's special to have people of that caliber to see opportunities, wonderful opportunities right here in Dominica, right here in Point Michel is a remarkable thing. And this is special for us. It also tells us a story that our own people must look for the opportunities that reside here also. I ask that we all support Dr. Dangleben and his wife in their endeavors. There's a place for you, Dr. Dangleben, and your wife. There is a place for you, and we welcome you at home. We welcome you in your endeavors. As government, we pledge absolutely to be collaborators and to support your business. It's important to have private sector collaborate and work closely with government in order for us to have a complete healthcare system. That's important. So while we provide public health and public care. There are some things that reside within the walls of private facilities that can be done better because it is private. The more specialized one-on-one access is important.
Okay, caller, you wanted to hear it? I just played it for you again. All right? Hello, hello, hello. Our final call for the afternoon, and then we'll go, okay? Until tomorrow morning. Talk to me. Yes, our final call.
Yeah, hello, man. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir. A long time. How you doing?
Yeah, long time, cool. Let me tell you, the excerpt that you play with Kasani was the Prime Minister in state or out of state?
Was he in state? I don't know. I can't recall. What day was that?
Okay.
Yes, I don't know. I don't know if he was in.
Remember, if you can try to research that for me. So if you extend that program, I have something to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Folks, so long. It was nice having you in the afternoon. Okay, thank you very much.